Hi, this is Stan Bush.
Hi, this is Stephanie Calvert.
This is John Payne.
This is Jack Hughes.
Hey everyone, this is Britt Lightning from Vixen.
Hi, I'm Carrie Stevens.
Hello, I'm Kofi Baker.
And you're listening to Play That Rock and Roll.
We are with Billy Sheehan today. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Okay, it's good to see you. So you are fresh off the big finale in Japan with Mr. Big. That looked like an absolutely awesome show. How did it go?
Amazing. We sold out the Osaka Castle Hall and Budokan, and there wasn't a dry eye in the house at the end. It was quite amazing. We had already done like the farewell tour. We started it in Japan.
Yeah.
And then toured the whole rest of the world. So they got to see on social media everybody else getting it. So they said, can we have one more show? We said, well, we really wanted to be a farewell tour. We don't want to do any more shows. That's going to be a real farewell tour. But so we said, we'll do it on one condition: if we can raise money, because there was an earthquake on the west coast of Japan. It didn't get as much attention. So we can use this. We'll get a bass, a couple guitars, some stuff to auction off, and raise some money for earthquake victims. If that's the case, then we'll do it.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so there's a great charity aspect to it too. Oh man. So, when you, and I know that, like you said, that was a real farewell. That's not going to be like, there's other bands where they say it and that's not the case.
Yeah, it is a real farewell.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people coming out to this tour, they traveled extensively and got hotels, and they flew across oceans to see us. So we can't just say, we decided to do it again. This is not fair.
Yeah.
Because they really went above and beyond the call of duty as fans, as they always do.
Absolutely.
Big fans are the greatest fans in the world. Period. No, inarguably.
Absolutely.
So there was and a lot of bands now. God bless them, but they're out there playing, and it's not quite what it used to be.
Oh yeah.
We all get older, but we've gone. Let's cross the finish line running as opposed to crawling, and so we wanted to end off on a high point, on a high note. So that was kind of some more behind it, and another reason why we don't want to violate our promise to have that be the end.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations on that. It looked like an amazing gig. You think back on the Mr. Big run, it's just such a legendary run of albums. How do you feel just emotionally knowing that whole chapter of your career is now closed, at least as far as live shows and albums?
I really feel great about it.
Yeah.
It's really because we did accomplish a lot. We had a number one single. We had platinum records. We had number one in 14 countries. We played all over planet. Having a hit single is your passport to the world.
Nailed it.
We played everywhere: India, Singapore, Malaysia, the Philippines, Korea, Japan, Russia, every country in Europe, pretty much every country in South America as well, and Australia. All over. Quite amazing. I wish everyone, I know it's impossible, but I wish everyone could have, at least go through that for just a shot at having a number one single and going all over the world.
Yeah,
awesome.
I would think so. And when you think about all these gigs, it makes me think of one of my favorite questions to ask when I talk to artists is, when you look back on all these different gigs, so many of them have to be special, and I'm sure this last one really stands out as meaningful to you, but maybe setting that one aside, when you look back on your Mr. Big days, are there any gigs in particular that come to mind right away when you think of special gigs that really meant something to you?
We did Santos Beach off the coast of near Sao Paulo, Brazil.
Oh, okay.
And we had no idea that during the day on a Brazilian soap opera they were playing To Be With Her.
Oh.
So we thought, we'll play in Brazil. I hope some people show up.
Yeah.
And so it was the local Brazilian band, the Lemonheads, Henry Rollins, and Mr. Big.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, quite amazing. And so we got there early, did a little quick sound check, line check, and we're in the dressing room hanging out, waiting for the day to unfold. And I go up to look, and I go, man, it's crowd's they're kind of filling up. It's going to be a good day. Okay, cool. Woo, that's great. And the Lemonheads went on. They did a great job. I looked out and man, this is good. Henry Rollins goes up there. Holy cow, this is getting out of control.
Yeah.
We go up there, and there's 200,000 people.
Wow.
And it is insane. And so we were playing, and of course there's usually a line of security in a barricade in front of the band. But we're getting near the last song, security leaves.
Oh
They
my
go.
God.
They're gone. And we're thinking, oh my God. And now there's bonfires out in the distance, and probably shots being fired that we couldn't hear.
Right.
I don't
No, it was the drums. It was the drums.
Yeah. So we're up there. We had a great night too. It just went really well.
Yeah.
I was so pleased. Every time we go to Brazil now, I was at Santos Beach. I remember that. And so we off in the distance, we saw that the sun is going south. We saw these trucks. It was the army. They brought the army in to disperse the people on the beach.
Oh my
That's
goodness.
So all these soldiers got up with weapons and they cleared everybody else off the beach, and it was a pretty wild bunch of miners.
That is epic. That is absolutely epic. Well, okay, that's a memory. Then on the flip side of that question, I also like to ask, is there any, usually I like funny stories if you have any of like a gig gone wrong or something that you're on stage and playing and you're just laughing because something unexpected happened. Do you have any funny stories like that?
Well, this one we told a lot, but maybe some of your audience hasn't heard it. We were opening for Rush on the Presto tour, and they were so great to us. They were the greatest people, and they're so amazing every night. I cannot say enough good about them as people. And on top of it, they're Rush.
Oh, yeah.
So they were so kind. They let us come up for the encore. They play Hey Baby, It's a Quarter, In the Mood.
Okay.
We play with them, really cool. So we were in Atlanta, I think.
Okay.
And Paul's doing his guitar solo, and he's going to play the drill on his guitar.
Oh, yeah.
And what he meant to do was put his hand up to his ear to the audience, like, I can't hear you. So they cheer him, but he had the drill in his hand. So he let the drill up, and his hair hopelessly caught in the drill.
Oh, my
now,
God.
he can't let go of the drill because it weighs a lot.
Yeah.
And he can't turn his guitar down because it's screaming and feeding back. So I was on side stage. I run out, Paul, get behind my amp.
Yeah.
And I did an emergency bass solo.
Oh, okay.
And I started playing. I'm looking over my shoulder, saying, "Is he okay? Is he all right?"
Yeah.
So then I found out later that he went behind my amp. The crew guys were there with the scissors, and he goes, "No, don't cut my hair. Just hit the reverse button and hit the trigger again." So they did. They hit the reverse button and whoop, back the other way, and it was stuck in even worse now.
Oh no!
So they managed to unscrew get the bit out of the drill, and then pull it through his hair.
Okay.
And he got out, and we managed to continue the show. The next show we did, Rush and their crew, Rush's crew, put all the power tools they traveled with all over the stage. So we had circular saws and drills and littered all over the stage, as a way to say, be careful with power tools, kids.
Oh my gosh, that is funny. That if you were able to get the drill bit and it was stuck in his hair, it could be like a fashion statement.
We had fans showing up with drill. No.
Oh no.
Not really.
Yeah, that would have been great. Well, of all the music you've been a part of, the stuff that I love the most, of course, is what you did with Diamond Dave.
Right.
Eat 'Em and Smile, Skyscraper, two of my favorite albums.
Thank you.
Take me back to those days. How did you get that gig with Diamond Dave? Because that Eat 'Em and Smile lineup is genuinely, that's a supergroup, like a real supergroup.
Well, Talus toured with Van Halen, my band Talus with Van Halen in 1980. We did about 30 shows with them. So I got to know the band and talk with them a lot, and they got to see me play. When they came to Buffalo one time, they came out to see Talus play.
Oh, nice.
And when Dave left, he contacted me. Initially, he was talking with Steve Stevens for guitar.
Oh, interesting.
And Steve was wise, I think, to stay with Billy Idol. It's such a great pairing, those two guys together, so great.
Oh, yeah.
And so I told Dave, I know another Steve. Steve I was on the same label as me.
Okay.
And we had spoken about playing together at one point on the phone before I had met him. But I told him, I know this other Steve. And so we brought Steve down. He was the man, perfect guy for the gig. And then Dave told me and Steve to go find a drummer. So we went out and did auditions, found Greg Bissonette, and that was that. Put that whole band together, and did the Eat 'Em and Smile record, came out the following summer, 4th of July.
Okay.
I went out there summer of 85 and the summer of 86, 4th of July it came out, or around then. And that was that. We toured and it was great. We went back into Skyscraper and I didn't go on that tour. Skyscraper wasn't to my liking.
Okay.
It was made completely different than Eat 'Em and Smile. It was Dave took a chance, and I respect him for that. But it wasn't my cup of tea.
Oh, okay.
And so I went on and started Mr. Big, and that was it. But we had a ride in that band. We played all over the USA, some Canadian dates. Never played out of the country. I did.
Okay.
With Eat 'Em and Smile. And but I still am forever grateful to Dave. The biggest break of my life, and giving me a PhD in showbiz inadvertently.
I was just going to say, I mean, you must have learned so much about kind of that rock star persona just by being around that guy. And I think of all those great music videos. You know, I've heard mixed things about making music videos back in those days. Were you someone who enjoyed making them, or were they a pain in the ass?
It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's really hard.
Yeah.
The Yankee Rose video, we shot all day long. We ran through that song about 50 times at full speed. And I know my legs were so sore the next day, I had to walk up the stairs backwards. Unbelievable. But it was again, a great experience seeing how Hollywood works and how a real proper video shot with a real crew and all that. It was quite amazing. And again, I'm supremely grateful to have been there.
Well, certainly, yeah. I'm sure, that's the thing with videos. It looks like a big party, but people don't realize that it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
You guys are putting the effort in. And then you wrote Shy Boy on Eat 'Em and Smile, right?
Yeah, it was a talent song.
Oh, that was, okay.
Sink teeth into that record. And I wrote it in my basement on I bought a $35 body of a Telecaster because it had a knothole in it from Schecter.
Oh.
And a guy came to a gig and sold me a bag of parts which contained a Telecaster neck and a couple other things. Bolted it on, put the pickups on, and played it through a deluxe reverb amp that I bought for about $50.
Okay.
And wrote almost all the Sink Your Teeth into that record on that, including Shy Boy. I still have the cassette of me writing Shy Boy in wrapped in a blanket with the snow coming in the window of my basement and freezing cold down there. And I did that. I still have the lyric sheet that I wrote, the original lyric sheet that I wrote for that. So I have an extensive archive. Some people might call me a hoarder.
Well, you're in good company around here. I'm sure there's a lot of people who've got big collections. Well, how did it get on the record? I mean, did Dave want it? Did you bring it to him? Oh, you did.
Cool.
Yeah.
And he was very kind. I kept my publishing.
Yeah.
Because he could have said, hey, I'll put it on the record, but I want all the publishing.
Oh, sure.
And I would have said, okay,
yeah.
I got a song on the record.
Right.
A lot of people do. They'll give up their publishing just to have a song. But he was so generous to me. He just said, I earned my publishing off that song.
Yeah.
Bang. He got an arranger's credit because the original song, the solo was in the same key as the rest of the song. We went to the relative minor, B minor, for the solo.
Yeah.
Which was really cool. And Steve and I did some things together. That wasn't on the original either.
Okay.
But yeah, so he was. Thank you, Dave.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the best songs on an already great record.
Oh, thank you.
And one thing I know about that record, of course, is there's that Spanish language version of the album. Now, I read somewhere, tell me if this is wrong, but I read somewhere that the whole idea for the concept of a Spanish language album was your idea.
Many people took credit for it.
Yeah.
Because success has many fathers. Failure is an orphan. Yeah, we were flying home from New York from recording the record, and I saw a magazine that said like the huge percentage of the population in all the South American countries is under 25.
Yeah.
So I thought, and Dave spoke Spanish. I went, we should do the record in Spanish. And Dave's manager thought, stupid idea. And sure enough, we ended up doing it, and it was great. I went to the studio with Dave and sang the harmonies with him. And we did it in a studio that Missing Persons was recording it. So we were in there in the evening, they were in the day. So Terry Bozzio's setup was there. And then I had Dale Bozio's mic.
Yeah.
She had her lipstick and perfume all over the windscreen. So I remember thinking, Dale Bozio, what a beautiful young lady.
Yeah. Well, I'm a music nerd. I love music history, and I love when bands try something different. And to this day, I can't think of too many albums where people tried that same kind of thing. But I love the idea because it's it's going after a different demo. So like, I always, when I go to record shows, I always look to see if I can find a Spanish language one. But those are tough to find sometimes.
Well, oddly, it was very common back in the 60s for you to do German, French, Italian, American bands. I've got Motown records that are in Italian and French and German.
Okay.
And the Beatles famously did German versions.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
And so it's not, it wasn't an absolutely new thing, but I'm glad we did it because I just thought it was a cool move to make.
Yeah.
And I don't speak Spanish, but so they, explained to me what I should say.
Yeah.
Like, I could phonetically, vuelto loco.
Yeah.
El color. O tímido, hasta luido.
Was he nervous at all about some of the pronunciation stuff? Or was he I mean, he's Dave, right? Yeah.
I think he speaks Japanese now, too.
Yeah, that's another thing. I'm surprised there's a Japanese version of that. Well, the last show I saw before COVID hit was in January 2020. I saw Dave in Vegas. I was one of 3 shows, and he was great. I really had a great time that night. So I know this is the question you probably get 100 times, but I saw that he's playing M3. Do you think there's a chance that maybe the Eat 'em and Smile band might ride again?
Nope.
No. Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, we get that question. I think that's 10,768. I got to mark it up.
Absolutely. Well, I wouldn't be a podcaster if I didn't have one of those questions for you. But okay, so Mr. Big is wrapped up. We're here hanging out at ROCKNPOD. What are you up to nowadays?
Writing like a fiend.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Practicing my bass like a supreme fiend. I got a lot of new things I'm working on, and some of them take a great amount of effort and time to really get my hands and muscles grooved in on them because they are complex and complicated. Not necessarily sounding complex, but there's things that are difficult to do. So I'm just so happy that I get up every morning, feed the cats, give them their tiki stick, and I go downstairs and I start hitting it hard. And usually when I'm off the road, I don't have calluses. My calluses are major.
Yeah.
Right now, I've been hitting it real hard. And I play guitar and write on guitar as well. Just learning a whole different approach to some of the chording that I've done in the past. And so I just want to write a lot, and I have about 2 or 3 groups of people that I will be working with on some records and possibly touring as well.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
None that I can speak of at this point, but a lot of folks.
We can find out about that on your social media?
Yes, because I manage my own social media. People often write, "Is this Billy's manager?" No, it's me. I don't believe it. Well, what can I do? It's blue check marks. Facebook verify. Come on, it's me. So, and I enjoy it because I get amazing, incredible, sweet, and generous emails from people all over the world.
Yeah.
And it's so wonderful. I answer them all. And sometimes I only have time to click a heart or a thumbs up or just a quick thank you. But social media, as much trouble as the internet can be sometimes, man, it's a great way. Anybody from Tierra del Fuego can write to me anytime, and a lot of bass players on there, and I help them out as best I can with whatever advice I can give them, helping them out.
Oh, cool.
I plan on doing some online master classes soon.
Nice.
Having somebody set up a video studio for me to do that.
Okay.
Because right now I do them here in Nashville because I live here.
Yeah.
But doing them anywhere else means I got to fly in, get a hotel, get ground transportation, and it just makes it inordinately expensive. So here I can do it relatively. People have flown in from all over. We had a family drive-in from Calgary to do their master class here, and flown in from South America, flown in from Europe, and come from all over the USA. So it's kind of a neat thing. So I'll do it online at some point.
Well, that is awesome. People can find that on your social media when you post an announcement about that. I liked hearing that you're still working on the bass because I think a true master never stops working at their craft.
Never. The more you learn, the more you realize you don't know.
Absolutely.
It's true.
Yeah. And it has been an honor talking to you today,
My
Billy.
pleasure.
Thank you so much for your time, and I hope you have a great rest of the day here at ROCKNPOD.
And you as well. Thank you so much.
Okay, all right.
Leave it all, leave it all, leave it all, leave it all, leave it all.